Hello out there in YouTube land. It's Ted E. Fame, formerly of Tony Williams Platters, from 1982 to 1992, until Tony's death. I'm the last member. I'm the last surviving member of Tony's last version of the Platters. Everyone else is gone. I was the youngest one in the group. When I joined the group, I was only 22 years old. So everybody was like 20, 30 years older than me. I think the youngest person in the group at the time when I joined was like 45. I am now, I just had a birthday last Friday, a week ago from today, I had a birthday. I am now the same age Tony was when he passed. I'm a, I just turned 64 years old, or when you get to my age, years young. And the reason I'm saying this is because at this point in Tony Williams' life, his voice was gone. He didn't sound nothing like his old self. And he shouldn't actually have been singing because he was terrible at times. And I'm just being honest. Put it like this. We hardly ever got booked to go back to a place that we performed at. And we sold out these places. But then you could see the disappointment in the audience faces when they actually, because here's the thing. The image in their mind and their heart is the Tony Williams from the 1950s, not the Tony Williams in 1988, 89, 1990. Tony died at 92. So those later years, those last few years, he should have just retired, not been singing. But greedy people who saw money to be made didn't want to turn down this opportunity. I'm talking about the people that were managing Tony, specifically his wife, Helen, who had actually managed the group. But that's another story. I'll talk about that on another video. So this particular video is about the first time I ever went to Japan with the Platters. This was 1987. And it's funny, because that tour, back to back, we went to Japan in 19 twice. Once and while I was in the group. Once in 1987 and the second time in 1988. So we did two tours. Each time we went on a tour there, we did 3 cities. We did Tokyo, Nagoya, and Osaka. Huh? No. Tokyo. No, the first time we did Tokyo, Yokohama, and Osaka. Right. Tokyo, Yokohama, and Osaka. And the second time was just Tokyo and Osaka. Um, so the first time ever going to Japan. And I'm excited. How old was I then? 1987. I was 20, 26, 26, going on 27 years old. And, you know, never been to Asia before. I was so excited to go to Japan and just experience that whole culture, and seeing Japanese people, just just the whole experience of seeing Japan and seeing Japanese people, all that stuff. And you're gonna have to buy the souvenirs. So I wanted to buy the kimono, some Japanese trinkets, and bring presents and bring them back to some of my loved ones, so they would have some stuff. The tour kicked off in Tokyo, and then Yokohama is the city right next to Tokyo, and then Osaka is like uh 3 hours away on a bullet train. So we got a chance to ride on the bullet train too, man, which was cool as fuck. I think the bullet train goes like 150 miles an hour. And because Tokyo, I call it Tokyo. So to me, Tokyo is like a little New York, and Osaka's more like LA. Gives you that kind of vibe. If you're American and you want to compare the cities, that's the kind of vibe I felt, being in both places. Love it. Got great stories about that. That's on for another video. We're talking about Tony Williams in Japan right now. So let's talk about that. So one of Tony's biggest problems is he's a functioning alcoholic, meaning he can't do anything without drink, but he can't regulate how much to drink. So he will drink until the drink has consumed him and he's out. And there's a story I have for you. That's the Aruba story, where he had too much to drink and he passed out on stage. That's another story. We'll talk about that another time. But this time, we when the tour was going pretty good. Tokyo went well. Then we went to Osaka. Then we went to Yokohama. Then we went to Nagoya. And while we was in Nagoya, the promoter booked us for another appearance back in Tokyo for our last appearance before we went to New York. And so far, the tour has been good. Tony was singing, all right, passable, nothing bad. And I think the audience was just glad to see that was Tony Williams, because Tony Williams. And I'm not sure, but maybe because they don't speak English, and they're polite and nice people, and they probably didn't criticize his performance as much as they would in America. And I got videos on this channel on my playlist that says the Platters, and of us performing live here in America. So you can actually see for yourself. You can judge for yourself from some of those videos that were, and those videos was around the same time, 1988, 1989. Those live performances on that I was able to get somebody who captures our performances, and I was able to get a copy of them. Those were 1988 and 89. You go watch those videos and you judge for yourself. And you let me know in the comments. You leave me a comment. You let me know what your opinion of Tony Williams singing was. So you might think I'm being harsh or whatever, but I'll let you judge for yourself. You go check those videos out. You tell me you think his singing was. So that last show we had to do before we came back home, we had to go in Tokyo, which is cool because we had to fly out of Tokyo to come back to America. So now Tony wanted to drink. And this being our last show, the road manager, whose job was to keep Tony cool and make it through this tour. So he was like kind of watering down Tony's drink so they wasn't so strong. And I think because Tony wasn't getting that high that he was normally getting from drinking, he knew something was wrong. So this new wanted his own drink, and he wanted to get his own drink, and he wanted a bottle. So we thought we could like get through this last. He said, so the roadman said, "No, Tony, you're not drinking tonight, man. It's our last show, man. Let's get the show and get up." Tony said, "The hell with that. If I'm not drinking, I'm not going on that stage." We're like, Tony, come on, man. He said, "Nope, I'm not drinking. I'm not going on that stage." And we try to reason with him. The roadman try to reason with him. Now, it's 5 minutes before showtime. We're about to go on stage. Tony refused to go on a freaking stage. So the club owner comes to the dressing room. Hey, what's going on? You're supposed to be on stage now. Let's go, let's go. So the road manager said, Yucca, what we're going to do, you guys go on stage and do your set. Because what we do when we're on tour and we're the only group, and there's not another group on tour with us, we'll do like an hour, 15 hours, 20-minute show. So now each member of the group gets to sing a solo song. So like, for example, Helen, Tony's wife, the female group, she would sing With This Ring. Ricky, the baritone, he would sing like I Love You 1,000 Times. And I would sing Wash the Shore. These are all bad songs. And the bass singer would sing Besame Mucho, which we should have recorded. It's not a class song, but we should have recorded. He sang the hell out of that song. So we thought we'll sing those songs and Tony changed his mind, but he wouldn't. So, make a long story short, they finally had to give this sucker, because the audience is impatient. We all sung our song, and the audience said, we want Tony, Tony, we want Tony, Tony, because we ain't singing none of the hits. We ain't singing Only You, Smoke Gets in Your Eye, that's Tony's song. Like I said, he wouldn't come out that I was singing. So eventually, we had to give in. But we had to wait till he got his buzz. So he had to hit that monitor. So he got this high on. So we let him. They did it. We came out to it. So now he feeling himself. Now he's gonna come out. And let me tell you something. I have not. Well, have I been? I felt I have been embarrassed a few times on stage. But this particular night, I was really embarrassed because he had a point to prove for us doing what we do. So now he's out there getting on us on the stage in front of these people for him not getting his drink. And he's halfway singing now. So he ain't even singing, but and he ain't even trying to sing. He's like whispering, singing, talking, singing. It was the worst show of the whole tour. And you could see the disappointment in the audience face, and you can see the disappointment in the club owner's face. And we could feel the energy. The pause was light. The pause was heavier for us individually doing our solo stuff as it was when we did the platter stuff. And you could just feel the disappointment, and it was sad. And I was embarrassed and unhappy. You know, I wasn't that good for 10 years. The first couple of years were very wonderful and exciting because it was all new to me. But after 6 years, I was just there because that was my opportunity to travel around the world and get paid and live this lifestyle as an entertainer in a famous group, even though the leader was less than fabulous. That's being nice. There was a lot of good times. I'm not gonna lie. I can tell you stories about times where we had some really good shows and the people loved us. But there was a lot of bad times. There was a lot of bad times, I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of times where it was very, what, very disappointing, very shameful, and very embarrassing when you look at the people's faces showing their disappointment in the performances that they were seeing. So those latter years were rough, but I'll tell you this. Regardless of anything I say, my life wouldn't be what it is today if I never became a member of that group. So I owe that group whatever I am today. And that's the end of the story. So after that show, we got out of Japan. And it's funny because we got booked to come back the next year from a different agent, different clubs, same cities, but different places. And that was the following year.